Hello everyone, this is Ashutosh Dwivedi here. You are most welcome on my YouTube channel, Ashu Official. If you're watching me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel to get such useful content to improve your spoken English. Today, I have had an opportunity to have conversation with one of the best tutors on EnglishYaari, Meenakshi Ahuja ma'am. So it was a wonderful session overall. I enjoyed throughout the conversation. And our topic was male and female, same but different. So we talked about the similarities and the differences between male and female. So it was a wonderful session. Please watch this session until the end to improve your conversational English.
Hi, good evening, Ashutosh.
Yes, hi, good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Nice to see you
Yeah,
again.
I feel the same way. So, one thing I would like to tell you before we go with the session, there's some background noise from my end. Something's happening in my society. If you could just, bear with that, then we would be able to, go with the session.
Okay, so what's happening there?
Kind of puja that's happening.
Okay, puja related to any particular festival is there or somewhat
I'm
general?
not very sure. They didn't invite us, so I don't know.
Uh,
But something is happening and they have their loudspeakers and all. Even I requested them to keep it low, but when it comes to society,
Yeah,
so I'll just do one thing. Whenever I speak, I'll be doing like this. Otherwise, when you are speaking, I'll just go on mute.
okay. Mhm.
Yes, how is going, Ashutosh, with your YouTube channel and everything? I watched some of the videos and I can say that you're doing really very well in terms of the podcast that just, I think it was there on YouTube, maybe on, I'm not sure with the date, maybe yesterday it was released or something.
Yes, yes.
Was great. I could see that maybe you have trained that particular child in such a way that he was able to speak more confidently and with articulation as well.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Channel is doing well, and I'm trying to, as your last session, that I'm trying to put a lot of content in the variety as well. Maybe sometimes I go out, or sometimes I'm doing voiceovers. Sometimes I'm telling about my village in some shorts or long videos with the green stuff behind. And recently I have done that podcast setting kind of thing. That was the first time ever I have done it, and I was feeling really good and nice because I wanted to do that for very long, but I didn't get people, I didn't get set up. So, but fortunately, I got a boy and he got ready to do it. So, but in the future, I would like to continue such sessions, and I'm hoping that I'll get some boys or I'll get some just students who are interested in spoken English, and I can do such sessions with them. So maybe that can be an engaging thing for my YouTube channel, or the viewers may like it.
Absolutely, definitely. And one more thing, I can maybe it's a suggestion that because most of the people, they watch your video and they are learning from your video as well. So if you could just introduce some of the concept which is somehow related to daily life conversations or what to speak in that particular setting, maybe because imagine that they are going for a college or maybe they're about to have an interview, right? Or maybe any particular setting that you feel like which is common, maybe you can go with that as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and nowadays I'm also thinking about the Hindi and English both, because what I see, most of the people come from UP or Bihar, the states, the speaking states. So for them, it is very difficult to understand complete English. Or I am able to see a lot of channels. If you would talk about Kanchan Kesri, English Connection, Spoken English Guru, many more channels in this category, and they have like millions and millions subscribers because they are working on both Hindi and English. They are not completely choosing English. So that's why they are, because some people in my society or in my city, I know that they are not able to understand English. And if I create the content in English completely, then they are not going to watch my videos. So I have very less views from my own city. I get views from Pune, I can say Mumbai or Chennai, Hyderabad, or Bangalore, all these cities. But when it comes to Kanpur, I get like maybe hardly there would be like 1,000 views, and I have crossed around like 2 million views on my channel, but maybe more than maybe 1,000 from my own city.
Completely get your point, Ashutosh. Maybe you can go with that as well if you think that it works for your own people. So how about starting
Yeah, because it is India, so I have to take care of those people as well, right?
Absolutely. Great. So now how about going with the session, Ashutosh? Today's session is like very interesting because here we'll be talking about men and women, same but different.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay. So
right.
let's just start with something fun. I want you to imagine this particular thing. Now imagine that if you had to live one day as an opposite gender. Okay.
Hmm.
So what do you think would change? Any differences that you feel like will be completely there when it comes to having a day as an opposite gender?
Yes, if it comes to changing the gender, as I can see in my society, as I'm not in Delhi or the big cities like Mumbai, so in Kanpur, especially if I would be a girl, right? So I would be sitting at home or maybe preparing food for the family. As I see my sisters or a lot of girls, they do this stuff, and if they are like more than 20 years old, they have to take care of their family and they have to do a lot of household chores. But if I talk about especially big cities like Delhi, it is not compulsory that if you're a girl, then it is compulsory for you to prepare food for your family members. You can go out, you can do job. So what I feel in my city, I would be sitting at home preparing food for my family members selflessly and without thinking about myself a lot, thinking about my family members like my parents, my siblings, like that. That would be the change. And apart from this, a lot of things about the decoration and many more things which boys do not take a lot of interest in, I can say. So in paintings, I see girls, they do it, or they try to create some decorative things at home. Nowadays, especially vacations are going on, so they do this kind of thing. So I would be doing the same, helping my mother or doing something which is creative. And if I'm a boy right now, already boy, then of course nothing else to do, just rest or go out, play with boys like that. But the girls, I see like they have the helping nature. Most of the time they are ready to help their parents or siblings in their work, or they take part in some creative activities too.
Very nice, Ashutosh. I think today you just tried to show me the another part as well because I am someone who puts up in Delhi, and to be very honest, I was not even aware of these things. I think that now people are like more liberal; they think about it. So, how about the education? If I ask you, are they open for education? Do they join college and pursue their career, or is it something they stay at home and helping their families and cooking and all those stuff?
Yeah, so it depends on the class and family as well. Like if you come from the rich class, because in Kanpur also there are many people who are wealthy, right? So they can afford education and they can send their kids. It does not matter whether it is a daughter or son, they can send their kids to maybe US or maybe in our country also Delhi, Mumbai, or Bangalore. So they are open for it, but it depends on a particular class. If your parents are orthodox, might they say to you that after 12th it's enough for you and now we'll be looking for the grooms. Okay, they're open for educations but not for very much higher educations. I can say that if you are looking for PhD living in a village, come from a very orthodox family, it is very difficult. Your parents are not going to allow you for that. And even though if I talk about my sisters, they didn't go anywhere apart from my own city. They studied there and they started teaching in a convent school and they still teach there. But my parents didn't have that much money to send them outside, and they did not feel like doing as well, like because we come from a village and that mindset is there. I mean to say that living in Delhi, I just we don't have, even though my parents did not allow me to go to Delhi when I wanted to go for Delhi University.
Okay.
My parents said like you're not fast like Delhi city is. This is the fast-paced city, and you'll not be able to adjust that. So that's why I went to BHU rather than going to Delhi University. So this kind of mindset depends on the family to family.
Absolutely.
Some family are really open, and but some family are really conservative, I can say.
Okay, totally. Very nice, Ashutosh. So, as you have mentioned, that definitely the differences are there. If I ask you about the communication aspect, so can you tell me, is there any difference when a man and a woman, if they communicate? Any differences if you have ever observed in themselves?
Yeah, as I come from a village, but nowadays I don't live in a village. So I would say ladies are not, I mean to say that comfortable talking to strangers a lot. Like if somebody comes to my home, my mother would not directly go and interact, maybe. So maybe many times, if there is male, my father is there, or if I'm there, then I would be dealing the case. Or my sister is there, then she would go and, but she would not directly go and have a conversation if just male is there or somebody is unknown is there. So they are always hesitant to have conversation, and they are not that confident, or I mean to say it is etiquette, they cannot sit together also. That is also there. If somebody comes as a guest, they'll give them place on chair, or my mother would sit on floor. Okay, so that's how it is. Maybe yeah, it is still there.
All right. Okay, maybe it's a symbol of respect as well. Can we say it or something which is
Yes, somewhat. If you are living in Delhi, you can think about it. It is like maybe orthodox things. But in my perspective or in my society, it is just said that it is respect, that you can't sit together. Or maybe kind of Delhi is quite modern in that sense that they don't care about either you are a male or female. You can sit together, talk together. But in village, it's not so common. You have to give respect. So always, maybe you can sit with your husband. That is okay, completely okay. But that does not also happen. I can say, I tell you that also, because if I talk about my generation, so my grandparents or my parents, that is not so common. But if I talk about my sister now, so my sister can sit with the husband or eat together. That's fine. But if I talk about my mother, she didn't do that. So,
totally get that? So I think for me, it's a gesture of respect, and again, it depends upon the perception that the people hold. Maybe for someone, it is like, what are they doing? And this is something, a double standard thing, orthodox or something. For someone, it is a gesture of respect. So totally get that.
yeah.
So as you've mentioned that already, and something which really held my attention, that your sister is into teaching and they are pursuing their career. So what do you
Mhm.
think, Ashutosh, if we talk about the different areas in terms of our particular country? Let's say the example that you gave about your village. So is it wrong for women to focus on their career, or for a man, if I talk about to be a stay-at-home dad? Because people also don't accept this thing.
So in city, I can say in village it is completely. Just I can't say that people can't digest it. That if you are a male and staying at home and doing household chores, if you have wife, if you don't have wife, that's completely okay. You can do it by yourself. But if wife is there, people would say like you are henpacked or many more things in village. So it is a kind of man ego is there, right? So male dominance, that you have to go out and you have to run your family, that it is not your part to sit at home and do things and wife goes out. That is their first part, but it is changing. It is changing. That's what I'm also able to see now. And girls are not, I would say, restricted to pursue their career, but if they're talented, that is also there. For the boys, people put a lot of attention for their education, even though if they are not paying a lot of attention to their studies. But when it comes to girls, you have to be an extraordinary student. Okay, to prove yourself that you can do well, then only they are going to invest money on it. Otherwise, the always question comes that we will put the same money to your marriage, because we have to give dowry as well. Dowry is the main thing here. So they'll say like, why I'll be, just to invest 5 lakhs rupees on your education if you're not able to do anything from that. It's better to find a groom in 10 lakhs and I'll just go for the marriage. And they always say that whatever the dreams you have, pursue in your in-laws family, but that is completely impossible. And that does not, if you as a parents are not allowing, that how in-laws can allow you to do something whatever you want to,
Yes,
right?
couldn't get agree more. Very nice thing, Ashu, that you have mentioned here that how come is this possible, but this is how they think like that because they have limited money. So I
Hmm.
think there is one book
Yes.
that I read one day that is Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. Have you read about it?
No.
No. Basically, in this book, differences between men and women are explained in such a way that you understand if a particular man holds a particular, perception, why does it happen? Because there is
Hmm.
always a dilemma that why do they do like this or why women do like this. So if I talk about one thing that comes to your mind, like women always worry about what men forget.
Hmm.
Okay, or if I talk about men, they always worry about what women remember. So can you tell me
Hmm.
something about that? Or if it comes to dealing with the stress, at the time it also that men wants to be in solace. They want to have some time whenever they are under stress or something. But if I talk about women, they want someone who can show empathy with them, who can empathize with them. So what do you think
Yeah.
of this? Yeah, what do you think
Well,
of this?
if I talk about the men, so men are always outside, according to my society, as I see. As I told you, that there is a male dominance, and most of the people go out and work. So they surround with people, so that's why they feel frustrated, right? Sometimes work it's really frustrating, and they get anxiety dealing with their boss or dealing with their colleagues. That's why they want some time for introspection or for themselves, so they can sit alone and think about it and rethink about it, that what they want to do in their life. But when it comes to females, okay, they sit at their home, they do work, they are deprived of socializing themselves a lot. In my society, I can say they cannot freely mix with anyone, go out and talk to anyone they want to. Sometimes they feel really alone, but they are not able to express themselves. They don't find the right person to express themselves. That is also there, because lady cannot express themselves in front of everyone, either with maybe the son or the daughter. Or because in my village, I'm telling you, in Delhi, it doesn't make any sense whatever I'm talking about. So but in my village particularly, it does. That if my mother feels something, she'll talk to me, she'll talk to my sister, or maybe she'll talk to my father, or maybe some of the relatives like her brother, my maternal uncle, or some of like her sister. Then only, it does not mean she'll go out and she'll start saying things to anyone to whom she wants to. So that's how it is. So that's what I can say. So that's why men are dealing with the people outside a lot, and they are frustrated due to that. But ladies are dealing in their home and they feel alone. That's why they want to express themselves, because they are deprived of socializing themselves. But in the case of male, they are socializing themselves, but they become frustrated due to the work pressure and workload. So that's why they feel alone in crowd as well. So that is the point I can say. And the first point, please come again. Now I think so, because I was not able to catch it. Just you were talking about something in the beginning.
So when it comes to complaining with each other, I said women, if you
Hmm.
talk about, they always worry about what men forgot. You didn't do this for me, you didn't do that for me, you forgot my anniversary, you forgot my birthday. They do like this mainly, if you have seen that.
Hmm.
They complain about it.
Yes.
But men value something, that how much women remember. What all do
Hmm.
do they remember, the particular things or the minute things that are there in the life? So what do you think it means?
So actually, as it is always just you know, and I know as well, that women are more into emotional things, right? So if you forget something like, oh, this is my birthday, you don't remember, so they become really emotional. But when it comes to the male, they are, I can say, visionary. So if they have a daughter, they cannot cry for their daughter, but they always have this thing in their head that they have to collect money for the daughter's marriage, right? But when it comes to mother, mother is quite emotional. Oh, we have a daughter, we have to take care of her. Oh, like she wants this and that. But they have the long-term goal in their mind. So that's why they don't show emotions frequently, and they don't care about small things. They care about the big things in life. But when it comes to the women's, they care about very minor things. As I see my sisters, oh, this has happened, why didn't you come on that day, this was very special. But what I say to my sister, that if something wrong is there, I would be there, but not for the small occasions or small celebrations. It does not make any sense for me, but for her it makes a lot of sense, because her relatives, her in-laws, family were there, but you were not there at that occasion. So that's how it is. It depends, because but what I feel, both perspectives are important from the point of view a lady and the male as well, because both things are important. Being rational or being emotional, both are okay.
But
So
how
male are be just know.
how will we fill the gap? Because you know that it is important, but somehow as a man, you can't do it. You won't feel like doing it. So how will we bridge the gap between this emotional and the rational thing?
So first of all, you need to take care of your family, even though you don't like all those things, but you need to take care of your family, because they just know, for them it matters a lot. So if you are not able to remember, just keep a reminder in your phone. So at least you can get the just, oh, okay, there's a birthday, so I can buy something for her. It is not only buying the diamond jewelry or diamond ring. It's all about, maybe, I don't know, in big cities. Already I'm just telling, big city, a small city. In a small cities, intention matters a lot. Even though if you bring two samosas for your wife in village, she feels really happy. She feels out of the blue, I can say. So, but when it comes to Delhi, yo, my goodness, why didn't you bring the Mercedes Benz for me? Or just I was hoping this diamond ring or something like that. I see in the videos, I listen to people, because their expectations are really high. Maybe they want to go to Switzerland on their this particular anniversary. So that's how it is. So, but what I feel, for me, just intention matters than the thing which you are buying. That if you are buying something means you remember and you are taking care of her in that sense. So that's what I feel, that you can keep reminders in your phone or maybe in your diary, which you do, because we people are doing a lot of stuff, not only I or a lot of ladies, whatever they are. So they are really engaged with a lot of things, day to day things. So it's better to write and keep a reminder for yourself. So maybe you can remember that.
Definitely, I think that will help you to make a difference. And as that the point that you mentioned, it doesn't like it happens in Delhi all the time. Again, it varies from the classes that you have just put in one point, that we have different classes. If someone who
Yeah,
belongs to an affluent family, maybe they believe that Mercedes should be there or diamond ring. But again, what matters most is your intention behind that. Even in
yeah,
Delhi,
exactly.
you're bringing a samosa.
I'm not
What
talking
matters
about
is
the particular city. I'm just talking about that mindset, right?
correct.
I'm taking the majority of the people. Of course, many poor people are there in Delhi, and if you buy a 10 rupees thing for them, they feel really happy, right? So I see a lot of videos, people help them, they just give them banana, they give them some fruits, they feel really nice, right? So that is only talking about the mindset, that it's all about. And even though in village also some people are really demanding, I see some people are really demanding even though they are in village, but their attitude is like they come from Switzerland.
All right. Yeah, okay, great. Ashu. All right, so let's do, because we are short of time. I would like to ask you one more thing, because I watched your video, that podcast video, and I imagine that in the future you have your own channel and you are hosting two guests. Okay, so
Mhm,
two guests
mhm.
are there. One is a man who has just quit his corporate world to raise his child, and the other is a woman who just chose not to marry to focus on her dreams. So can you tell me what all questions can you ask to them, and at the same time you need to answer on their behalf, because eventually when you are running your own channel, at the time you are just dropping a message to other people. You are just sharing
Mhm.
how actually do they do in that particular situation. So what do they do?
So how, what will be my perspective? I didn't get it completely. I mean to say that if I'm inviting two people, let's suppose like all of them are married now, but Priyanka Chopra and Preeti Zinta, they were not married for a very long time.
Priyanka is
So they
married.
were, now they both are married. But I'm telling you, when they were in their 40s, they were not married. Okay. So the same, just if I invite her on the podcast and I invite a man, so that's what your point is, right? And then what kind of questions I should ask them? That is
Yeah,
your.
let me repeat, because I know there is a lot of
Mhm.
background noise. I'm getting disturbed by that. So I am saying there are two people as a guest at your platform, and one is a man who has just quit his job because he wants to raise his child. Nobody's there. Maybe the mother
Okay.
is not there, or he's a single
Mhm.
parent, and the another woman is there who chose not to marry. Like she will not
Mhm.
marry throughout her life because she wants to focus on her dreams. So that's a big
Uh-huh.
example, right? People don't accept such people. So how will
Mhm.
you take care of these things? Any particular thoughtful question that you can ask every moment of time? Or maybe you need to answer on
Yeah,
their behalf
so
also.
if there's two different personalities are there in my podcast, I need to take care of their emotions. I don't have to hurt them saying something about just which can hurt themselves. Like, yeah, it is there. I can say I'll ask some questions about the women's are just independent and they have the right to do whatever they want to. And then how did you pursue your career? Why did you choose this? Why did you take this bold decision in your life that you want to be single and you don't want to do marriage? And what kind of mashes you can give to other ladies who are deprived of getting education, or they're always afraid of doing something whatever they want to do in their life. So I'll ask some questions so they get other ladies and other, I would say, girls, they can get a lot of inspiration, right? And when it comes to the men, of course, I would not say, oh man, you are a man and what are you doing right now? No, I will say it's a very nice thing. We need to exchange our parts. We need to exchange our things. That how do you feel raising your kids now? That you are playing the part of your just for your kids as a mother and father. So how does it feel and how does it work for you? How are you able to manage both? You go out for work and at the same time taking care of your kids. So I will ask the questions in such a way that I'm not going to hurt any one of them.
Right.
And people get inspiration from that also.
Definitely, it's gonna be that. So, can you tell me any particular question that you can ask them, and it helps the audience as well to understand in future if somebody thinks like that. Oh, I don't want to get married. I want to go and make my career in this particular field. Or the person, the male person, is gonna be the someone who will take care of his child in future and leave the job. So,
Okay.
what
So
kind
the
of
questions.
main message
Mhm.
that you can give to the audience?
So, first of all, I would ask the question that how did you break the barrier of the society that most of the girls are tend to get married at the age of 25? And why just, didn't you do that? And how did you take that just, bold step? And how did you deal with the society? How were you able to handle your parents? How were you able to convince your relatives? Because it is very difficult if you come from a small village or a small city. People do not allow you to do something which you are doing, maybe if you are not married at the age of 40. So I'll ask this question, and second I will ask her that how you are able to manage, maybe like you're not married but you, if you want to be a, I don't know, like you are asking in the perspective of single parent or just, only single. So I can say that how do you feel to be single? Because if you are a mother of two kids and if you have a husband, you have a lot of responsibility. But being alone, how do you enjoy your life? And how do you manage your time? How do you motivate yourself when you feel down because you don't have the support of your husband or your kids, right? Because you are single. So that's how it is. So I'll ask these particular questions, and I can say that what kind of message or piece of advice you can give to others who are looking for the same kind of life, who are looking for the same decision in their life. How can they convince their parents, and how they can think that what is the right thing for them, how they can come out from that dilemma that what is right and what is wrong from them. Okay. And when it comes to the male, I'll ask him like, why did you leave your job, and how did you take this decision, and how do you feel now that raising your kids is very important for you? I'll ask him that you took a right decision, because being a single parent, it is very important for you to focus on your kids rather than focusing on money. So then just, when, how did it come in your mind that you should leave your job, leave your job and you should focus more on your kids, because they are more important than money? Because if you are always busy with your job and not giving attention to your kids, for sure it does not make any sense as a parent. Does not matter you are a single or double. So that such kind of questions I will frame, and it depends. When I get people, I work on that frame. I write questions accordingly, just as I was talking to that boy, like he's eighth pass student, so I was asking very simple questions to him, because I cannot ask very high-fi questions related to life and how do you feel about life and things. So it depends what kind of person I have, and I'll give time to myself and write questions in that paper, and then accordingly I'll ask.
Great. So Ashutosh, I wish that you get a chance in future to do such kind of podcast as well, and we would love to say.
Yeah, thank you.
I must say you express your ideas very, very well, Ashutosh. Starting with if I talk about your accuracy, fluency, everything is so aligned. So maybe one thing, because you always ask for the feedback. So one feedback maybe I can give you. You can start with it.
Mhm,
Whenever you start with any thought, maybe you can end with a punchline, or something that make your point more memorable that you can do.
mhm,
Okay. And apart from that, it happens that sometimes we have some like particular sounds thing like sa and sha when we talk about in the MT, I think. So for that you can just look for some of the sounds, and if you feel like you have difficulty in that, some particular tongue twisters are there which you can practice accordingly. That will help
mhm,
you to be more articulated with your sounds when you're speaking, because eventually we need to work on this area.
mhm,
So maybe there is one exercise that I'm.
I hope you have enjoyed the conversation. And if you want to have this kind of conversation with wonderful tutors on EnglishYaari, don't forget to go through description of my video where you'll get the link of EnglishYaari app or EnglishYaari website. So easily you can click on that and you can book sessions to improve your spoken English, because for improvement you need to have session with the trainers who can give you feedback. Without feedback it is very difficult for you to understand that where you are making mistakes and how can you improve yourself. So when you interact with a professional like Meenakshi Ahuja ma'am, you get an idea that how can you level up your spoken English skills. So don't forget to go through the description of the video to book sessions with such wonderful tutors. Bye bye, take care.